Yep. Hello again. So we're back. This year we're going to have a special slot around 3 in the afternoon, which is dedicated to showcasing the 5 best Portuguese games curated by the Portuguese Video Game Association. And it's with a great pleasure that I have my first slot for this best Portuguese game is with someone that I've known for quite a while, João Antunes. Antunes, who just developed Employee 9025 or is developing. So, João, welcome. How are you?
Yeah, thank you. I'm good, Ricardo, and thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure and it's an honor to be nominated and to be featured in the X.
Yeah, it's well, who follows your career, your people that know that you've been working in the AAA industry for the last few years. So obviously, when I've met you, we're really into the indie community, game jams. You were a big part of the game jam community, and then you did this, let's call it leap of faith to the AAA industry. And I was really surprised when I saw your submission and I checked on the social media that you're now developing again, you're returning to developing these games. So, creatively wise, do you think this is a way for you, like some kind of creative escapism? Because I believe that working
Mhm.
in a really big project might be taxing in several aspects.
Yeah, so I think I so even like I started out at Miniclip, which is the biggest studio in Portugal, so around 350 people. And even though the teams felt small there, I think like the team where I worked in Nagario, at some point we were like 5 people, 6 people, so it didn't feel big, it didn't feel too much bureaucratic. But still, and even if you're working on something that you firmly believe in, and I'm glad that most of the projects, and I'll probably say all of the projects that I worked in, I believed in. So from everything that I saw, I did on mobile, but also or Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Star Wars Outlaws, and quite especially what I'm doing now at Studio Ellipsis. Even if you believe in all of that and you're doing your best and all of that, it's still you don't own all the aspects of it, which is absolutely normal. And I don't say this as a bad thing. I think this is a good thing. It's great to work as part of a team, and it's great to have that to have to do that exercise of like having understanding the roles of everyone and understanding like what people are good at and then making the team deliver the best possible,
Hmm.
which for sure is going to be like the best that uh, which one of us can do individually. But of course there are things that I want to say, um, and the way that I know how to tell them is by games. As people do paintings, people who write, people who sing, and for me, it's video games. So it is something that I do not directly as a response to what I do professionally. Let's put it like this, uh, which sounds a bit, which I think maybe will sound like a bit ironic, given the game that we are about to show. But it's
I'll ask
something that
about
I
that later.
do. Yeah, yeah. But it's something it's something that I do just because I feel that I want to do it, and because um it's very different when you have to create with um thinking that okay, this product is a product that needs to work This needs to be commercially viable. I want my the studio to go well. Um, I want my life to go well, but I want to also want the life of my colleagues to go well. And of course, then you will need to do some decisions. But when you are creating freely and you are totally free, like of all of this, so be it in a game jam or or this kind of game that like if I sell 0 copies, if I sell like 1 million copies, of course, if I sell 1 million copies, things are different in terms of money. But that was never the goal, right?
Yeah,
So it's more in that sense. So I never really stopped creating my things, but it's mostly on game jams and less on releasing like individual games like this.
because I remember I don't know if it was 1 or 2 years ago when we met at Gamescom. You were playing around with Game Boy camera, and how could you bring that into your incorporating that in game development? And
Yeah,
I always
I did release a game with it.
oh
So yeah, I made a game about a small park. So I'm in Malmo right now, just for this week, and I made a game about a small park that was next to my house, and I used the Game Boy camera with that, and it was really cool. And I think like the Swedes were felt like were very proud that there was a game about it from here, and I got featured on social media for of the park. So it was nice. I think being able to do games like that, being able to act like locally and
mhm.
to really focus on niche stuff, I think it's nice, and I think we should have more of that.
Okay, with that being said, let's carry on our conversation, but let's show employee 925, which my idea initially is, and correct me if I'm wrong. I've been a big follower of Severance,
Hmm.
especially on how the series conveyed the idea of you not only being part of like being a cog in a more complex system, but also being a cog that you don't really understand the shape you're in and how do you fit in the mechanism and what do you do in the mechanism. And I felt that with your game. Is there any correlation that you feel about the series, or is something completely separate?
Yeah. So people ask me this, like, is this is were you inspired by Severance and all that? And like from a marketing purpose, and because it's
Yeah.
such a good TV series, I should always say yes. Yes, of course it is. Like, if you like Severance, buy my game. But in all honesty, I would say that um, kinda. I think like Severance is brilliant on things that I don't really go into on in this game, but I also think it works really well because it has a lot of cliches. So like the endless corridors, the weird trainings or exercises, the fact that you are a number and all those things. That's a bit cliche on corporate, but that's also
Hmm.
why I think it works because if you ever work like in a big office that has a lot of corridors and you don't know where you are and all of that, you can kind of relate. But yes, of course, it's on the same. It's acting on the same cliches, acting on the same tropes. It's very much about like the corporate dystopia, which I think like when you watch something like Severance, I think it works because it feels like it's like 2, 3 board meetings away from being a reality. It's like it's not like that far fetched. Yeah.
While I was playing this, and I played this build a few times, I was always thinking, because obviously in my mind, experiences like Stanley Parable come to fruition. And for example, yesterday night I was checking the build while I was preparing to today's streaming session, and I decided, sorry to spoil you guys, you're gonna see this in a few minutes, but you were asked to mislead your partner. Okay, so I decided to do two things. One, only focus on his side, so helping him or her going to the goal, and just afterwards doing my own trajectory. So one, focusing on the partner and never lying to them, because I thought, hmm, is João did João prepare something for me, like if I decided to be like a more altruistic kind of colleague, does it will it resound in the test?
Yeah. So the thing is, and the way for you to actually conclude the entirety of the game is to do all the finales. But what what the endings are in reality, it's different personas at the workplace. And so what the game is asks you to do is to kind of like cosplay different personas, and maybe you are just a person trying to do your best. Maybe you are the person who doesn't really need to do your best, but you know how to shake hands and smile. Maybe you are the person who doesn't want to engage on any conflict. And yeah, and sometimes those things work out, sometimes they don't. Um, so yeah, this while in Severance, maybe I could debate that it's influenced by it, even though I really like Severance, and of course, like I developed some of the game while watching it. Uh, with Stanley Parable, I will not debate anything. It's very much inspired in Stanley Parable. It's like a micro Stanley Parable
Yeah, yeah,
in that sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I also understand that the correlations that people could trace between employee 925 and Severance is also with the retro nostalgic aesthetic. Like you
Mhm.
having this ASCII screen.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's well, I would say like a lot of the visuals in the game are they are like this because I'm working with a big restriction, that is that I'm not an artist. So like if I can do things more simple, but that they convey the same idea, for me that's what I'm going for. But that's also like kind of a design philosophy on the things that I like
Mm-hmm.
to do, and that's why the game is short. I think like the game could have like, so it will take you like maybe like 1 hour to do everything. But the game could be bigger. There could be filler on it, but I also think it took a long time to develop at some point because I did not want to add any filler. I wanted it to be like straight to the point, at the same time leaving space for the player to think about things. Um, but about the aesthetics, and this I need to give credit where credit is due. So this game started out very much like the part that you're playing with the Morse code and everything. It started out on Global Game Jam 2018 or 2019.
Whoa.
So that part,
Okay.
yeah, that part was repurposed. Then it's the rest of the game that it's different. And yeah, and I don't remember who had the idea or anything like that. But I was not alone there, so there was like three more people with me: Miguel Oliveira, Nuno Marcão, and João Fernandes. And yeah, and I don't remember exactly, but it was very much like, and this is what and the reason why I don't remember why someone was responsible for the aesthetics, because I think it was like this brainstorming and arriving to that thing, which I think is a beauty. Then when you work um, as part of a team.
Damn. Yesterday I found out the
Yeah, sometimes it's harder. Yeah, like
oh, you
yeah. Do
you
you
change
want?
you changed the
Yeah. So it's the
because
labyrinths are
yesterday
procedurally generated. Yeah.
because I thought, oh, I'm gonna shine on the stream because I I just knew it by heart how
No, they
to.
are procedurally generated. I already saw someone trying to do what you did, like first try without bumping it against any wall. And I was like, how did you do that? And he said, oh, I noticed that the labyrinth is like a mirror of the other one. I think, but it's not. I think it's just by coincidence it generated always mirrors, so that person knew how to do it. But yeah, that's not how it works. So yeah, like this is very much like not helpful for like speedrunning at all, because there's no really like a way. You kind of need to do this mental map
Yeah.
of what to do. Yeah, but yeah, of course, this is not the first ending, like, right, that you do bump into. This is the one where when you are already trying to be clever and maybe like break the game in some other way. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. I cannot even give you any tips because I don't know what the
No,
labyrinth is.
But did you see lots of people playing this? Are you inferring stuff from how you watch people playing it for the first time? I'm not saying people that already play the build, but like going to a dev meet and just checking people.
Yeah. So I would say like a lot of people don't question the game at first. So they just go like as this thing like you say, they make them fail. So just they just make the other guy fail, and they just get like the first ending, the terminated ending. But sometimes you see people arriving, and from the first try, they don't care, and they are trying to do what you're trying to do. Or when they go like on the next step, and when they go like into the like the 3D labyrinth, they try to break it in some other ways. Um, so yeah, so it's cool to see like how people engage with it. And one of the best things that happens at dev meets is and I would say probably like people at home are kind of feeling that because they're looking at this and like what the hell is going on. And at dev meets what happens is like it's I would say like more than 50% of the people at some point like they just like look over the shoulder, look at me and say like, but what is the like
What
what is
the
the
purpose?
like yeah, what is the tension? What am I doing? Like and stuff, and I'm like usually before the make them fail thing, and I'm just like, can you play like 20 more seconds, please?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then when they finish and or like finish the first ending usually, and then they what they tell me is like I was getting very frustrated, but then I understood that like yeah, you were trying to get me frustrated, like, and that's where we were going with this, so it made sense.
The labyrinth from last night was far easier for me to break it. But why was I asking you this? Because I
Yeah.
played at least 3 times this build,
Hmm.
and I don't know if it's because I know you. So it ended up me thinking, is the game inferring something by the way that either you focus on your side, either you focus on the partner side, either you focus on helping or ruining their labyrinth, or doing it at the same time? Because you're saying this kind of personas
Yeah,
on.
yeah. So that's the thing. Like with the different endings, each thing is it's a different persona, and the game the game is very much obvious about like what um like who you are, kind of like the thing that you did. So um like if you complete the same flow that you would do like to be terminated, but then buy a T-shirt on your way to meet like this entity at the end of the corridor, then then you get to be employee of the month. So the thing is, I would say that the game is not inferring directly what you would do, but the game is pushing you to try different things and to approach what is very much like work in a different way. And then with that, of course, you get like different outcomes.
Okay, I think you know I'm going to ask this, and obviously,
Yeah.
is this in a sense any kind of catharsis for you for coming out of a really big structure?
So the thing is, and as I told you, like this, so this started out with in Global Game Jam 2018 or 19. At the time, there
Oh, it was
was
before. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is, but at the time, we kind of so at the time it was a co-op, local co-op game. So you would have like the actual like two players talking with each other, not talking, but like verbally, non-verbally communicating with each other. Um, yeah, so you just got the pacifist ending, which is like when you don't engage like with like making your partner stuff. And but the thing is, so since it started from there, and I probably worked like 2 days per year on it since till release. That's the thing. Like I'm not no sugarcoating this, not trying to pretend this was like something other than that, because that's how it is, and like and especially when you are like I'm making games 8 hours per day for a long time, and especially when you are closing games, and I was closing for most of the time that I was at Massive, so because we were closing Avatar and then we were closing Star Wars Outlaws, and when you're doing that, it's very draining. So yeah, sometimes the last thing that I wanted to do when I arrive home is to program more. But so the thing is, yes, it is maybe a catharsis, but it's not. I think it will be very easy to look and say, "Oh, this guy just left Ubisoft 1 year ago, so this game is about Ubisoft." And I don't think so. I think like all organizations are flawed in a way, and I don't think it's no one's fault. I don't think anyone is evil or anything like that. I think we kind of evolved uh, to to that weirdness and to that strange way of doing things sometimes that is unhelpful for creation and that is well unhelpful for people as well sometimes. So yeah, it is a catharsis for me in the sense that it brings me closure to finally see this game out and to finally see players playing with it and to finally not have it uh, like knocking on my brain sometimes, and that's a shame.
But obviously, because you're kind of uh, you fall into this, and you don't have context, and it's easy for you to read between the lines and reflect on, well, how big structures work. And I'm not talking
Mm-hmm.
specifically about video games. I'm talking about
Yeah.
corporations as a whole. And it reminded me that old sketch from Godfrey, where the boss comes to the office and he asks, "Oh, so João, what we do here?" And it's like, "Oh, we do things with papers, and we send faxes, and like you notice that in the structure, a few people didn't actually know what their objective was in the structure." And while I was doing your test here at the employee 925, I kind of felt that, and I think it's something that actually exists in big corporations. Some people that exist, but whose objective is kind of undefined in the end of the day.
Yeah, but I think I totally agree with you. But I would also say so. I think like this game is trying to be maybe like more more pretentious than it has any right to be. And I would say that like the reason why you are doing the things that you are doing right now, it's not because the game is about work. It's because it's a video game, and the video game just told you to do this, and so you do it, and that's it.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
don't question it. Even if it was at work, you would maybe question, but not really. But yeah, with the video game, you just do. And this is the thing
Mm.
that I also had like a reaction. Like some people said, like, "Hey, I did this, but I didn't understand why." And I'm like,
Why? Yeah.
like the game told you to do it. Just follow it. And so there is I would say the game is about three things. It's about work. It's about video games, but it's also about life in the sense that I think like the idea that you try to do your best and you fail and other people like don't do their best or like they bend the rules and they have it better and whatever. Like I think that's universal, not just I think workplaces and especially in the bigger the structure, the more it mimics society because you get to
Yeah.
have all these layers.
Like filling up.
Yeah.
So, are you telling me that I've been reading too much between the lines? Because I was really extrapolating about the labor forces inside structures.
No, no,
I
no.
was.
I don't think you have been reading. I don't think so. I think you're reading correctly. I just think that like the game is not just about one thing in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very much about like what you said. It's very much about like the erosion of purpose and the erosion of self at the workplace. Um, I just think that like when you think about these things, and it's not just about the game. When you think about like the issues that we usually have at the workplace, in organizations, and all of that. Uh, it's very much the same issues that we have as societies outside of workplaces.
Yeah, but you just brought me a layer that I wasn't thinking about. Like in my reflection playing Employee 925, I never thought about that. That actually happens. Like you don't question a video game. Like a video game has a set of rules that when you're inside of it, it's you just drink the suspension of disbelief and you accept it. But I wasn't thinking about the purpose of the video game at all. Like I was almost forgetting the medium and just
Yeah,
trying to focus on the rest. But obviously, well, saying that the author is right is kind of stupid of me. But obviously, I wasn't thinking
yeah.
about that
No,
part.
yeah. So one thing that I was really careful with in the game is that I didn't want, as I told you before, I didn't want to have like filler. I didn't want to have things that don't have meaning. So there was a lot of this exercise of like trying to distill it as much as possible into something that is cohesive and makes sense still. And so I know that everything has a purpose. I am not expecting everyone to get the purpose of it. I'm not expecting everyone to like go and distill this, as sometimes you see on YouTube, but like you have like all this these people going over like, oh, the meaning of a work of art. And I don't think this is the game where that kind of thing is going to. But there are layers there. So yeah, I think maybe you can do like the terminated ending. So like just make the other guy fail.
How many endings did you prepare?
So it's four endings. So like when you finish, you have the document with you got one part, and you got the pacifist one, and there's the terminated one, which is of course when you did like something very wrong. In this case, like did not do what was expected of you, and then that means that you might end up terminated. There's still a way to save yourself here, but you don't have the necessary things right now. You would need to do other stuff. So yeah, so this corridor was there before Severance was released. So
I,
this is what I'm saying.
I
This is the
was
thing that I
refraining myself from asking that.
yeah, but this is the thing. I think like endless corridors and stuff, like those things are there. It's very obvious. I would say, like for when you want to portray like corporations.
I'm going to meet the boss.
Of course.
Like the Minotaur's labyrinth.
Yeah, and so these guys had is the only asset in the game that is AI generated, because it felt that like if he's that evil, it needs to be AI generated. And yeah, and it was also like working with this asset was a pain. Like I think like when you see now this red in the eyes, there's
Yeah.
some spots missing because like there was like the texture was exploded everywhere, so I needed to find pixels like, oh, this pixel is the eye, and like kind of paint it there. So yeah, and that's when I also go like with the meta commentary like, about then not work, then not life, then not those things, but about also like making games itself, and um and yeah, and how things kind of work in the vacuum, and sometimes when they are put together.
And then you now have context of what's around you.
Yeah, and if you look at the top, there is your computer there with smoke.
So yeah.
Yeah, so now you got so you got the terminated ending, and there are two more. We have time to do it because it's like you can do it in 5 minutes if you want. Like I think like if you know what to do and you want to speed run this game, you can finish it probably in 15 minutes. But of course,
So obviously going through the labyrinth, not only the Daedalus reference, but it also felt I was meeting the Minotaur in the labyrinth. So
yes,
none of this is by chance.
no, everything has a purpose. That's kind of the thing. And
But not in life, I guess, João. Or...
uh, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, no, in my game, yes, because like there, I wanted things to have a purpose, but in life, no, yeah, sometimes not so much. Yeah, and there's a small detail here, which is like when you go to the labyrinth again, the labyrinth is different each time you enter.
Hmm?
And what makes a labyrinth the shape that it is, it's actually the last ending that you had. So the one that you got now is like this is like the default labyrinth, it's the one you get always. That's it. But if you go into the labyrinth now, the labyrinth will be more disjointed. You have like more open areas. No, actually, no. Sorry. If you go into the labyrinth now, it's just gonna be a big kind of like corridor that never ends, and that's because you were terminated. And like when you are terminated, that the only thing you can do is try to move forward, and you don't have a bunch of places to go and options and all that. With other endings, the labyrinth changes to reflect that state of mind as well.
I was trying to do like the perfect run.
Yeah, I think like actually like for you to finish the game right now, you would need to have done something already before engaging with the exercise.
Oh,
Yeah, you can try. You can just go into the main menu and then just hit continue. Yeah, so you have the disengaged ending. So yeah, so just like do do all the dialogue till you get to the till it zooms into the computer, and then just don't touch anything.
oh, yeah, yeah. Like strike.
Yeah, so this is the disengaged ending, which is another way of approaching work, right? Which is to just show up
Yes.
and do absolutely nothing. And of course, I think like if you keep doing that for a while, it's not going to go well. But if at least in the beginning, you get some incentives to try to do better and to engage yourself in work and the culture, whatever is being done.
Uh, I was noticing the. Just curiosity, I noticed this in the first time I played. Were you painting over photos of yours or people you know for the backdrop?
No, no, that's just asset pack. Like, not
Okay.
gonna lie about it.
Oh, I'm disengaged. Yes, I am. I'm
Yeah,
really disengaged.
and because of that, now
Oh,
you receive a token, and you can use this in the store. So you have this store in the labyrinth always, and yeah, it's a token just for you to like, yeah, like remember that this is a happy family, and remember that you should be here,
yeah,
and that you should be engaged in work. You have stuff to do.
and circular economy. Have this token and spend it here?
Yes, exactly. So they give you it's like a meaningless token that you spend to buy stuff from the company as well. Like
Buy yourself something nice. Can I buy the two items?
you can keep accumulating tokens if you keep being disengaged.
So let's do that. I
Yeah,
want.
just do that for like yeah. So you have the two items. You have a T-shirt and you have the pizza. Pizza you can buy as much as you want. The T-shirt you can buy it once per run. Let's put it like this.
It's like an NFT.
Yes.
So you said it took you spent like 2 days a year developing this, but when did you decide to just dive in and
I decided to dive in. So when I understood that the 25th of September of this year was 25/9/25, I was like, okay, this is only going to happen like 100 years from now, and so I need to release the game then. And that's when I decided to do it. Yeah. By the
oh
way,
that
you call the game, and it's no problem. It's absolutely correct. Employee 925, but I call it employee 9 to 5. I think it's a
ah
nicer play.
yeah.
Yes.
I missed that one. Really good. Employee 9 to that's a really smart that's a really smart title.
But yeah,
Good.
so now if you go into the labyrinth again, so like you just essentially do like the terminated ending, so that you get there and you have access to the store.
Uh Canonically, are we're the same person, but if we're terminated, are we returning to the what
Yeah, yeah. So like on the text, it just says like we hired you again. It's not really your choice. Um, it's not your choice yet. So like you don't have any agency because you have this binding pact, right? You are
yeah.
accumulating parts of it, but you don't have all of the pact, so you don't have there's nothing you can do about it right now. But that's why you're getting the parts of the pack, so that you can actually have the choice. But yeah, but I think the game has been complete. Some things that didn't look very well, but the game has been complete, and maybe without like scene transitions in some places for like 1 year and a half. But I never felt like finishing most of the time. I was like, I don't want to. Like it's not I don't want to because I don't want it to end. Like it's being so nice. No, it's just it's being an awful experience. Like kind of like trying to finish it, and with everything else like going on in life, and yeah. So glad that I finally did.
Now you have a new project on your like main job.
Yeah.
Are you also, well, first I don't know if you can answer this. Are you allowed to keep developing stuff on your free time?
Uh, yeah. Like I obviously I don't want to answer like too much. Not
Yeah,
don't go too much into it, but yeah. Like I'm not not breaching my contract.
yeah. But are you
But
feeling that?
it's not the case everywhere. That's the thing. So and about this, I think I can really talk. Like there are companies that like will kind of like try to enforce you that you cannot games on your own, and I think it comes from there's valid things there, of course. Let's say if I'm working on Star Wars Outlaws and I make a game that is exactly like Star Wars Outlaws, but I just call it something else. Yeah, just do the terminated ending again. So it's just good to go into the just make them fail. And yeah, so if I start making a game which is exactly like Star Wars Outlaws, but call it something else. Of course, the companies need to protect themselves in this case. But at the same time, or even if it's not as obvious as that, but like you're using some tech that you learned in a company, companies need to protect themselves. Um,
I agree with
and
that.
the reason,
I
yeah,
agree.
and the reason why they also need to protect themselves because like I very much don't want to do anything like what I am doing at work, and it's not because I don't like it. It's because like it will be not a super clever thing to do for the reasons that I said, and also because I just want to try something different. And sometimes like you can be at work and you can be making this amazing thing, but why wouldn't you be able to do anything differently and something different at home? And I think like companies sometimes don't understand that um, when they block you from making a game on your own at home, they're not blocking um, they're not blocking the game itself. It's not like, oh, this person is creating something that will be like a competition or anything like that. Uh, they might be blocking the means of self-expression. Of course.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, like I express myself um, through games, and I express myself through talks and those different things. And not all companies are open to having employees engage on those things. So I salute the ones that are. We should have more
Well,
on them.
yeah, we could have a debate. I can tell you what my, obviously it's something that we discussed for the company lab, saying this, or I had this discussion with other people before. So for me, it was always, even ideologically, it's always been a stance of, I never agreed with any corporation's idea that you own the person that works for you.
Yeah,
It makes no sense for me ideologically. The other thing is, I think everyone benefits, especially in creative industries like ours. Everyone benefits from allowing people to express themselves outside of their job. One, people need to vent. If you're, yeah, you did really big projects, so it's easier for you to start. feeling the weight of being immersed in a big project for a while. And if you're a creative person, you need to, in a sense, deal with that. And usually, creative people deal with that with creative expression.
Yeah,
So
it's like it's
doing something else on your free time, expressing your own ideas, actually helps you mentally, first of all, and creatively for the work you do on your working time. Let's call it like that.
yeah. Plus, you learn a bunch of stuff. Like I had never released like I had never released like a game on my own on Steam. So yeah, my knowledge about Steam works and all of that was very limited. I had to develop like kind of like a build system for this, so that I would not go into Unity and like
Hmm.
have to press like all these buttons and stuff. So there's a bunch of things that you learn, and that now I can go to work and I can use them as well. So it is beneficial. I understand that like sometimes like you if you entrust everyone with this, someone is gonna do something wrong. But it's that's a risk you need to take. And
You just expressed the what I call the cynical argument for allowing people to work in their free time. It's because when you're working, when you're engaged, you're obviously developing yourself as a creator and as a worker. So there's a lot that you evolve and that you develop on yourself that will reflect on your 9 to 5. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
so that's why I'm a firm defender of people expressing themselves. Obviously, you said the same thing. Like if your 9 to 5 is developing this game, and on your free time you're developing exactly the same game. Well, one, I don't understand why you would do that. I think it's masochism.
Yeah,
The second,
or you actually have bad intentions, right? Like it can
yeah,
be like, well, I already got all the knowledge, so I'm just gonna use
yeah,
it. By the way,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So now you can finish the game. Like if you just press L now, liberate yourself. Yeah, finally have the contract, so you can act on it. Or you can keep working till eternity, right? And and yeah. So, but essentially, like this is the end of the game, and then it's like the credits will roll. There is I need to thank like well it's on the credits, but I need to thank Música Portuguesa Gostada Própria because they allowed me to use
anos,
this music.
trabalhava numa vinha de seus pais,
Oh, it fits.
mas como o
Yeah,
seu trabalho não
some nice lady from
rendia,
the I believe from the
à
north of Portugal,
noite pelo pai era
some
espancado,
from her childhood.
mas como o seu trabalho não rendia, à noite pelo
Mhm.
pai era espancado.
Congratulations, João. We have
O
here
garoto tinha
Zeta
já
Flash
farto
congratulating
de
you on our chat.
sofrer, já
And
farto
Diogo
de
Stewart was also saying the
passar
game looks cool as fuck.
martírios
Yeah, it's a
tais.
fact.
Yeah, thank you.
Dia
Really
o
good
que lhe
experience. I think it's so good when you play something
lembra
that you,
de
yeah,
abandonar a casa
obviously mechanically it's simple, but everything else that is
dia
making you
o que
reflect
lhe
on is I believe it was
lembra
your
de
intention. It was that side.
abandonar a casa
Yeah,
dos
and for
seus
me also like
pais.
after playing games like I think for me like the prime example is something like the Outer Wilds, which is probably my favorite game ever, and I was never expected to be, but it is because it has this thing that I love, which is the game doesn't happen on screen; it happens in your brain.
Hmm.
And there is I actually have this experience with the Outer Wilds. Like I don't know, there was some like game breaking bug. My save would not load again, and so I lost I don't know like 6 hours of progress. But then I understood actually I lost nothing because like it doesn't matter. Like I have the knowledge, everything's in my head, so I can just jump right in. And I like that. I like when the game like lives in your brain and can live in your brain right after you are done with it. That was my goal with this.
We have someone asking if you are you thinking of adding the Portuguese from Portugal version.
It has Portuguese from Portugal.
Oh, it has.
Uh,
Oh, I just played it on English. Okay, so
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
has.
it has, it has. Yes, yes. So I released the Portuguese localization maybe like a week ago or something like that. Yeah, it also has gamepad support, and it apparently runs great on Steam Deck. So
Oh,
yeah,
that was my follow up question. Actually, that was my follow
yeah,
up question.
yeah, and also like the like as you just saw, it's essentially a game that it doesn't. require dexterity. It doesn't require you to do anything that is like all the challenges in the mind. Let's put it like
Mm-hmm.
this. And you can press it like one button at a time, like to complete the game. So I wanted also to make the game as accessible
Accessible. Yeah, yeah.
as possible, and that's also why it works a lot with high contrasts. But I didn't want it to be um, like an option or something. I wanted it to be everyone gets this, and it's accessible from the ground up.
And everyone, I was so immersed in the game and talking with João that I forgot to tell you the game is already like you have the link here on the chat. You can go there. It's a 4.99 game. It's a really interesting experience. Uh, Having this additional information and it's in Portuguese, I think it yeah you can offer it to someone because it's something that will stay in you. uh, I believe
Yeah,
for some time.
and about the Portuguese thing is like if you feel some of the Portuguese is weird, don't feel shy to tell me. Like it's been I've been like 3 years and a half abroad, and also like my wife is not Portuguese, so I speak English more than I speak Portuguese at this point. And I was struggling a little bit, like especially like with with gender normative things when in the game it's very much like not with that. So if you feel anything is weird, like just tell me. Like it's very easy for me to just fix it and issue issue a patch.
João, congratulations in employing 9 to 5. How did I miss the?
You know the first one actually. Like I have a friend of mine that also played the game, and he said it took him a while because I guess he was also either he was saying it in Portuguese in his mind or he was saying 925. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Caso Demo, like we more or less finished. Obviously, João was helping me, but you have around 1 hour without the help of the developer because I almost speed run it because João was guiding me. But yeah, you can around 1 hour. So it's a good project for you to support Portuguese developers. It's a really interesting story, and
Thank you.
congratulations. It's really good to see you. Yeah, see you back on this experimental. And I have to check the Game Boy camera thing. I didn't know you
Yeah,
released
yeah,
it already.
yeah. Check that. I also released the Game Boy game. It has 5 minutes of gameplay, so it's kind of like a demo. Maybe you remember this game? It was Torn. It's like this one that you would like flip black and white and stuff. It was a very simple
Mm-hmm.
game. I submitted to IndieX like some time ago, and I
Yeah, yeah.
remade it on Game Boy, where it actually works much better.
Oh.
So yeah, I never really stopped doing anything. It's just that yeah, this one is on Steam, so it's a real game. The other ones are on itch.io, so it's like experiments I did, right? It's kind of like that, but yeah.
Yeah, don't forget. Just check your link, the link for the that you have on the chat for the game. Employee 9 to 5. It's just 4.99. It's an amazing game. It's really. Um, I was going to call it mind altering, but it sounded like a drug, so I'm not going to say that. But it's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good to expand your conscience about what you're doing, and believe me, it really helps. Here, the immersion is different because obviously I'm having a chat with João, but the three previous times that I played this, I felt it because I was alone in my office. I was just focusing on the game, and you kind of it's like this meta thing where you're looking at your screen and you're looking at the screen inside uh, besides looking at your screen, so
yeah,
I think you it's easier for you to get submerged in
yeah.
the message
And
you were
also
trying
like
to.
even if you have a mechanical keyboard, you get double the noise because your keyboard will make noise, but the game also has noise.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
Diogo was saying that this should be played with a mechanical keyboard.
yes. No, and but yeah, I kind of forgot what I was going to
Yeah,
say, but
sorry.
yeah, no problem, no problem. But yeah, it's just to say like of course like if you play it, it's just 1 hour of your time. I also believe in like games that respect the players' times. I know I don't have much more than 1 hour to play stuff most of the time, so it's that. And if you get it and you play it, like of course like leave a review. It's really helpful. Like,
Yeah, that's good. That's something that we've been discussing, and well, in our podcast and everything. How it really irritates me when I check people evaluating a quality of a game like a ratio between time/euro. And it's really annoying because our time
Yeah,
is far more valuable, and it's more important that the developers and the creators respect and have that idea and
yeah,
giving us a fulfilling experience.
and I think it's like you have been here in Sweden already, as I know,
Yeah.
and I'm here now, and all the beers that I had are twice the cost of my game, and
Yes.
they didn't stay with me that long, so they didn't last 1 hour. So yeah, everything it's games should be more expensive. I'm
João,
sorry for saying it.
if you don't have that selling point on your Steam page, you're
Yeah, I
missing
should have. I
something.
should have.
Or
Costs
just a
less than a
blurb,
beer in some place.
just a blurb. Half of the beers I bought in my life were twice the price of this game, and they didn't stay with me as long as this.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that.
João, thanks a lot for being with us. Congratulations with Employee 95.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, I hope everyone is checking the game and wishlisting and following and buying and playing it. And then again, congratulations and welcome back to Portugal. I didn't know you
Yeah,
were
thank
back,
you.
so yeah, welcome back and good luck to your new projects. And I think now we're going to do a small pause for like 5 minutes, and we'll return next with One Way Home